Wow. Just wow. Welcome back to 161st and River, a Yankees podcast, and we are going to be recapping very briefly because it's almost 1 o'clock in the morning and I have to be up at 7:30 the events of tonight's win. So first, let's start out with the not so good. Carlos Rodon sucked today. He was horrible. I mean, it was one of the worst performances I've seen from a starting. The starting pitching for the Yankees this series has been feeble. In fact, Luis Seals had the best performance of the three of them, and they'll turn to Schlittler tomorrow to salvage the season and what's left of it. And hell, if anyone's up to the task, it's the kid who every time they put him on the TV, I have to do a double take of is he Garrett Cole, because that's who the Yankees probably missed the most this series is Garrett. And not having him is a monumental loss. But that's not the topic here. The topic is Carlos Rodon pitched two and 2 2/3 or 2 1/3, allowed 6 runs, and it was just he was horrible today. It was one of the worst performances I think I've seen from starting pitcher. 2 1/3. He gave the Yankees 2 1/3 innings of work today. That's horrible. For a team that needs desperately innings. I'm sure the last thing Aaron Boone and his staff wanted today was to have to use their entire bullpen. But they had to use their entire bullpen. I'm pulling up right now the final line from Rodon. They had to use everybody except for Nuke Weaver. They did. They used everybody that they had to use, and everybody did their jobs today. Here's Rodon's day, courtesy of the Real app. If you don't have this app for like notifications and other sports stats, you're really missing out. Not a sponsorship. I just really like them over there, and I use their platforms all the time. I don't think there's a day that I don't go on the Real app and use it. And look, I literally did this sitting here. So, anyways, Rodon, 2 1/3, 6 hits, 6 earned, 2 Ks, 2 base on balls, 1 homer. The homer was to Vladdy. His postseason ERA is almost 10 this year. That's his ERA today. Today's ERA, he was on pace for a 9.72 ERA if he kept pitching. 67 pitches, only 44 strikes. That's not going to cut it. Rodon left numerous pitches like right in the heart of the plate, and they got hit. Or I think it was in the second inning, George Springer came up, big spot, real big spot. 2 on, 2 out, could have put some distance there. And he popped out on a 93-mile-an-hour fastball right down the middle. And he got under it and popped it up. And then he gave up 4 runs in a second inning. In the third inning, he couldn't get out of. And from a starter of Carlos Rodon, you need better. You need more. Now, hopefully today was the anomaly because this team puts the ball in play, but he just didn't have it. And that happens. It's going to happen from day to day and from start to start. I understand that. Unacceptable from him today. But then the Yankees started to claw back. It starts with a base hit. It starts with an RBI. And then the sac fly by Stanton to center field. And that was that for that inning. So it's like, okay, they got a couple. It ain't over. Then the following inning, a drop pop-up, then a walk. After a Volpe strikeout, a drop pop-up, then a walk, and then it led to Aaron Judge. And Aaron Judge did this. Joe Davis gets a lot of flack for some of his calls. This is one of the best home run calls on a TV broadcast, on a national TV broadcast, I think I've heard in my life.
Two-strike pitch. Hits a drive down the line. If it's fair, it's his moment. It is! It's tied! Judge has arrived!
Judge is hitting .500 this postseason, with an on-base percentage higher because he's been walked numerous times. So, for all the criticism that Judge is not a postseason performer, he certainly showed up this postseason so far. Now, hopefully this isn't it for the postseason. Hopefully they have many more days. It's just a loop of the Judge home run. Hopefully the postseason will last, hopefully, in about another less than a month at this point. Hopefully they last, because I don't want this postseason to be over. They did something special tonight. That was the largest come-from-behind victory in franchise history. And Aaron Judge did something that I don't think a lot of us are going to give him credit for, but I'm going to say the stat. Aaron Judge is tied for the league, for the lead in MLB history with David Ortiz, of the most home runs in an elimination game, with 6. Aaron Judge saved the Yankees season today. Aaron Judge had 3 hits today and was intentionally walked and scored a couple runs. I think he scored 3 runs today. Aaron Judge is assumed to be AL MVP. I don't care what that fucking catcher in Seattle does. Aaron Judge is your AL MVP. Aaron Judge today spun the game and spun the season potentially for Toronto on a top. The catcher in Seattle hit a fucking meaningless home run in the 9th inning today to put them up by 2 more runs. Judge hit a home run that tied the game and set the Yankees on their merry way to victory. The run that gave the Yankees the lead here was Jazz Chisholm with a solo shot that he absolutely pimped. After getting memed earlier in the game for yawning and not making plays and being lazy today, Jazz Chisholm stepped up to the plate and absolutely pimped a home run off the facing of the second deck to give the Yankees a 1-run lead. Then Austin Wells had a fantastic at-bat that resulted in an RBI single. Should have been an RBI double. But the Yankees were out of challenges since the replay room boned the Yankees 3 times tonight with the non-catcher interference call, where it was like so clearly catcher's interference that Boone was like, are you fucking... I read Boone's lips. Are you fucking serious? Let's go. You're better than that. Like, he screamed. I had the tweet typed out like Aaron Boone's been ejected. Like, this has hit rock bottom. And obviously he wasn't ejected, but I thought he was going to get thrown. I mean, it was a horrible call. And even the broadcast, who was so biased the whole game, like literally till the 9th inning, they were so biased. They're like, I don't know how you don't overturn this. And when it didn't get overturned, they were shocked. I think everyone was shocked. It was a replay room disaster class today. And I do think Wells was out at second base, but it would have been nice for the Yankees to be able to have a second look. Not that it would have mattered, because they probably wouldn't have changed it anyway. That's just me. Anyways, then Rice sac flies underrated after they intentionally walk Judge. Then Santander misplays a ball that leads into a second and third 1-man out. They got the run home. That's what matters. The main story of this game is what made this game a winner in my book. Besides the Judge home run and the heroics from the offense, going off and scoring 9 runs, 9 runs, the most this offense has scored this postseason. The Yankees also hit 2 home runs in tonight's game for the first time this postseason. Now, no Yankee has a multi-home run postseason as of yet. That can all change tomorrow, and that remains to be seen. The real hero in this game is the Yankee bullpen that took over in the 3rd inning and did not allow a run. They didn't allow a walk. Let that one sink in. The Yankee bullpen allowed 3 base runners from the 2nd inning on. They didn't allow a walk, which has been very documented by me, which has been a huge problem this season for them from start to finish. They walk way too many guys. Tonight, they didn't walk anyone out of the bullpen. The Yankees walked 2 batters tonight, and both of them were from Carlos Rodon, and one of them shouldn't have been a walk. One of them should have been a strikeout. But the home plate umpire missed a clear strike that led to the Vladimir Guerrero Jr. 2-run home run. But everyone had their hand in it. I think Duvall looked nasty today. I think Devin Williams pitched his ass off today and had one of the best performances he's had as a Yankee. And I think David Bednar doing what he did today, because David Bednar has been one of the underrated great Yankees this season so far. I'm going to play a clip in a second when it uploads in here of Devin Williams walking off the mound to the serenade of the fans with Bednar coming in for the save. I mean, David Bednar and Devin Williams. David Bednar and Devin Williams today pitched some of the best innings that I've seen. They clutched up today when it mattered the most. If those two don't do what they did today, I don't know that the Yankees win this game and win this series. I really win this game. They haven't won anything yet. I don't know if the Yankees win this game if they don't clutch up and pitch the way they did. They pitched really, really well today, both of them. I'm trying to find Devin Williams. Okay, so Devin Williams on that ovation, he said it was awesome. Williams said, "It's nice to feel appreciated sometimes. It was definitely a lot better than what I've heard for much of the year." Devin Williams has not given up a run in over a month. I hope everyone understands that. So the Yankee bullpen today, 6 2/3 innings, 9 strikeouts, no runs. The Yankees actually struck the Blue Jays out more today than they did allow runs. That's impressive. And we're heading into tomorrow. The Yankees live to fight another day. Can they do it? Let's see. If they win tomorrow with Cam Schlittler on the mound, and I think tomorrow, it was even a more sure thing than today. I'll be honest with you. The Yankees had to win today to get to tomorrow, but I think tomorrow's more of a sure bet that they win than today, and they won today. Why? Because I think Cam Schlittler's a better pitcher than Carlos Rodon. Yes, he's been roughed up this season by Toronto, but look who Toronto's pitching tomorrow. It's a bullpen game for the Jays, and the bullpen you've gotten great looks of because they went to their relief corps in the third inning because Bieber couldn't get outs. And if we're being real, if the umpires didn't screw up a couple of calls today, Bieber probably gets tagged for a couple more runs. Obviously, it didn't matter. The Yankees won the game. But, you're down 5 runs and you come back and you score 8 unanswered runs. And now tomorrow you're going out there with all the momentum in the world. Right? The Yankees have the momentum in this series. Whether the Blue Jays want to admit that fact or not, the Yankees have the momentum in the series now. I know Toronto can win tomorrow and end the series, but that doesn't matter. The Yankees can win tomorrow and it's 2-2 or 0-0, and you're heading back to Toronto. And Toronto now is panicking because the Yankees will have their ace on the mound. It will be Max Fried, and though he pitched horribly up there last week, it'll also be all hands on deck. Where if we need Luis Seal out of the bullpen, he can come out. And if Max Fried doesn't have it in the second inning, they will be aggressive and go to Heel and go to these guys. I think Luis Heel should be in play tomorrow. He pitched on Saturday. He pitches better at home. I think Luis Heel should be in play tomorrow as if he's not going to get a start. And then you could use him as a reliever for a little bit. You could probably rely, I think, on the schedule with the ALCS. You could probably rely on 3 starters: Schlittler, Fried, and Rodon. I don't really trust Rodon, Fried, I do trust. I know he's been horrible in the playoffs for Atlanta, but this isn't Atlanta. This is New York. I'm not going to let one start up in Toronto. You know, look, the Yankees silenced them. The Yankees weren't able to get an out of their bullpen over the weekend. They got a ton of outs and gave up 3 hits, 3 base runners from the second inning on, from the third inning on. That's insane. Insane. And all in separate innings. Devin Williams, a leadoff single in 1 inning. Camilo was great. Fernando Cruz, I believe it might have been a 1-out hit. And I don't think any of them were extra base hits. Oh no, one of them was. The one off Camilo was a rocket off the wall, but it didn't matter to me. Hill came in, cleaned up, and right out of there. I'm gonna leave it there because it's 1 o'clock and I'm tired and I need to be up. That was an awesome win, and for the first time in my lifetime, I could say that Aaron Judge saved the Yankees season and delivered the big hit. Good night, New York. Let's win tomorrow and send this